Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on Watchful Games. I'm your host, Enlightened Excited Eddie V. Joining me is the Digimon professor himself, Mr. Daniel McGarr. Hello, good sir.
Hey, what's going on? I feel like we're down Corey tonight, so we have to bring some extra fire to our conversations to fill the void, you know?
Yes, it's so weird. Last week, so everybody, if you have not seen last week's episode, do go watch it. Corey and Stephanie, thank you, Stephanie, for filling in for me. They did Nintendo Pow Block on Monday. I was so prepared, ready to record Monday. And then I got a phone call from one of the managers saying that they need me to come into work because that closing manager hurt his shin or something. He was hurt, so he couldn't work. So I had to work from 7 to 10:30. And the thing about it is, my store manager, she was out on vacation, and 2 other people were out. So I got there at 7 when it was almost power block time, and I had to go to work. So Corey's plan was to record the Zelda discussion, just give his impression. But Stephanie stepped in. So shout out to her. Thank you, Stephanie, once again. And then they had a conversation and did Power Block, and it was so funny. I know you couldn't make it, Daniel. I couldn't make it. It feels so weird. And now this week, me and you are able to make it. Corey is taking a break this week. So I'm so happy. Courtney will be back, everybody. She's been working too. So but she will be back. Will be a 4-party group soon. Hopefully, I cannot wait for that day to happen. But Daniel, how have you been? I haven't got to talk to you in a good while. How's life, work, love, food, whatever? How have you personally been, man?
Good. Just a little note on your previous part there. I was super impressed when I heard he was doing the episode by himself and it
Mm-hmm.
downloaded onto my feed and it was an hour and a half. I was like, wow, like he really kept a one-person conversation going for an hour and a half. I was like so impressed. Because like
That
riffing for 10 minutes by yourself is so hard, let alone an hour and a half. And then I was listening and Stephanie popped in and I was like, "Oh, that's how that sly dog did it."
well, Corey knows I could do it because I did it for some old power blocks. So I did it for Arsenal X. Optional opinion, my very own podcast. That's how it was. Like I spoke for an hour, even though I had notes and everything. I was still giving my opinion and giving, the history and everything. So I'm used to doing that. It is hard, and you kind of got to impersonate breaks and stuff, and you kind of got to treat it like you are speaking to other people or speaking to a class and everything. It's not easy, but once you get used to it, you'll be like, okay, I could talk for an hour and everything.
Yeah, it's definitely impressive. But as far as what I've been up to, I've been a little busy. I've been working a lot. Today, we went to my fiance's mom's house for her birthday, so I saw a bunch of people I don't see too often, and had fun. We took our dogs with us, so they were running around the yard and barking like crazy people. So it was
Oh,
pretty fun day. One of our dogs gets like super excited and just like barks his head off whenever he like sees people, and like he's a
yeah.
little older, so we had this little joke that we do that he has doggy dementia, and like someone will like step away and go to the bathroom that he's already seen for like an hour, and when they come out of the bathroom, he barks at them like he hasn't seen them in like 3 years.
Oh
So
wow.
like
Oh
people would like
wow.
walk away for a few minutes and come back, and he'd start barking again, all excited to see them.
Oh wow.
But
Well, that's cool. That's good. For me, um, like I said, the work things, I had to get ready for inventory. So that's
oh
gonna be
man.
happening in a week. So it's funny, my manager, before she left on her trip, she had a meeting with us. And she told all of us that, we'll be working Memorial Day to get ready for inventory. Because inventory is the next day after Memorial Day. Okay, fine. Now look on the schedule, and I'm just like, okay, well, one person is not working for Memorial Day, but they'll be here for inventory. I'm not here for inventory, but I'm working Memorial Day. I never get to do inventory. I never get to do it.
That's
So,
good. I worked at a grocery store for like 6 years, and I
mhm,
used to have to do inventory, and they'd send in their little squad team with their
mhm.
little keyboards and stuff, and I'd have to like walk around with like the crew and be like, yeah, there's 7 of these, there's 6 of those, 5 of these. So like you're like blessed if you don't have to be there. It sucks.
Yeah. I so I did inventory for Toys R Us. I did do some for a couple years. I did inventory for JCPenney, which wasn't bad and everything. Getting all of that prep. We actually working at JCPenney was my first overnight uh overnight work experience that I had. It was me and my 2 other friends, and they were in electronics. I was in mans, and I had to get all the mans and stuff ready. So I was just putting the clothes up, making tags, uh, doing a whole bunch of stuff, getting ready for inventory. There's only like 3 of us, and I went over to electronics to see how my friends was doing, and they were asleep on the ladder. Like they were just sitting down on the ladder to sleep, and I was just like, okay. But it was my experience doing that. Now, if I work overnight, they're doing our floors at work, or they're installing something that takes over us to work, someone to be there overnight. Uh, and so, I get to have that kind of fun, which is fine because I get to pay to just sit in the building and play my Switch and everything, and listen to YouTube and stuff, and at times fall asleep. Be like catch a half hour sleep and everything. So,
To make sure they're not casing the joint shift.
yes. So, um, but yeah, I before we get into our Nintendo and everything, I did finish Redfall for Series X. I am writing my review, everybody. I know I promised it a while back, but till the Kingdom dropped and I had to play it, I had to get the experience so I could talk about it on Power Block. I'm super excited. Which it won't be no spoilers or anything. So, but I'm just gonna give my opinion about the game. But I did finish Redfall, and I'm excited to write this review for it. Because I know what I want to say, but I don't want to seem like I'm tearing the game down because I feel like it's a game that does not to be torn down. It just needs some patches and everything. So, but I'm going to be talking about that. I actually do got to get back to Jedi Survivor. I know some people beat it, but that's also a review that I'll be working on for Series X and everything.
If you want to be a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushMedia, and find out which tier is right for you. Our Patreon producers at the $5 tier or higher for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. Thank you for your continued support.
Before we actually get into Nintendo, one more thing. I'm sorry, everybody. Wednesday is going to be the PlayStation. Well, by the time you guys see this, it is the PlayStation Showcase. I am going to be trying to watch it, and hopefully you guys check out bossrush.net for some of the writings, some of the announcements and everything. I won't be around when it's live because I'll be at work. But I do want to talk about it. because I want to see what Sony is going to bring. And then a couple of weeks from that, Microsoft is going to bring something. And I was at work thinking Nintendo is good, it's straight. But I think with all the conferences that they're going to be doing in like the fall and the winter and stuff, I don't know if they're doing an I don't not E3. I don't know if they're gonna do a Nintendo Direct for the summer. I don't think they need to. Cause I think we already got a lot coming. That February Direct was so big that I don't think they need it. We got 40 plus some games still coming to Switch. And that's huge.
It speaks to how like greedy we are, that like I got kind of sad when you were saying you didn't think there was going to be a summer one, even though there's already like 400 different Switch things I want to play.
Right. And
I was just like,
it's
oh, no summer? Come on.
me and Corey had this talk about. I remember people said, "What is Nintendo gonna Switch gonna have any games?" When that system first got released, everybody complained and was concerned about the games, and now just look at what that system has. It's insane. It literally is insane.
Like you see so many like backlog like tweets about people being like, yeah, just another thing on the backlog I'm never gonna get to before I die. And it's like, well, like I'm still like sitting there being like, oh yeah, like give me that next Fire Emblem, give me that next Pokemon game, give me that like give me Pikmin 5. Like I don't care, just give it to me. Even if I
Yeah.
don't have time to play it, I just want it.
Yes. Yeah, because right now we're awaiting the next Mario game. We're awaiting Metroid Prime 4. At least those two we are now waiting. I don't think we're going to get Fire Emblem because we got Engage. So I think it's up to Konami, because I was talking to Corey about this, and I think we did an expression pass on this already, that if Konami was to bring out Metal Gear Solid, uh, Twin Snakes, the GameCube version of Metal Gear Solid to Switch, it's literally the right time to do it. It's so much the right time for them to do it, you know.
Mhm.
So, but with that, everybody, it's time for Snackendo! And I'm going to start this one because, Daniel, I have had the BLT Lay's chips. And it is probably going to be my chip of the summer. It is so good. So good. It literally tastes like a BLT. And I ate my friend found it. He sent me a picture and I was just like, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah, give me a bag. I got that bag. I ate like half of it. He wasn't there the next day, but he was there the following day. He's just like, what you think of the chips? Because he bought me another flavor, and I told him the BLT hot. I'm like, it is probably their best chip that I have had at Lay's. And found out that we're getting a buffalo chicken sandwich Lay's chip sometime this month. I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
oh yeah. They have something called, I think it's a cabanero sandwich kind of chip. It's a wavy saucy chip. Um Good. It's not bad, but I think the BLT is better. I think they're trying these sandwich flavored chips this time, because normally Lay's bring out different flavored chips and stuff just for a limited time, and people can vote on what they like. But this BLT is like banging, and it don't taste like it has mayo in it or anything. It tastes like a BLT, um, bacon, lettuce, tomato. It tastes just like that with no mayo on it, so it won't make you throw up. And you really don't need no dip for these chips. It's that good. The Cabanero, the Cabanero chips, uh, they're too salty in a way, but it's a good flavor. It's not bad and everything. And I think I was telling him that I want to eat them with some ranch dressing. Because I feel like that will dilute some of the salt and still give you that flavor. With some sauce thrown into it and everything. So
Those like buffalo flavors mixed with ranch is so good anyway. Like I totally see why you'd
yeah,
want to do that. And it's funny that
yes.
you mentioned the BLT chips because I was in a store the other day and I saw them and like I immediately thought of you. I was
my
like,
my
I'm eating those right now.
he sent me the picture because he's seen them. Like, I need these. He's just like, I'm grabbing you 2 bags. So he snagged me some bags and brought them to work, and uh they're just so good. So good. uh uh Lamont and my friend Lulu, uh they both got it too and love them. So the BLT lays, if you have not tried them or you see them in stores, get it. Check them out and everything and stuff.
I'll have to
Uh,
give it a try.
yes. Um, Other than that, uh the same old, same old. I haven't tried anything new. There is a sandwich at Potbelly's that I still need to try, and I keep forgetting. So, I'm going to try it next time I go there and everything. But Daniel, what have you been snacking on?
I've been on this like junk food like bender lately, which is like really, really horrible. But I went to Taco Bell this week, got my Crunchwrap
Yes.
Supreme. Like Crunchwrap Supremes are so good. Like I don't want to know anything about how like the health quality of it, but like that's like a phenomenal like taco product.
Uh-huh.
Have you had those? Those are just amazing.
Yes, I have had those. Trust
Those
me,
are
they late nights after work before it hits 11 o'clock. It's 10:40,
Mhm.
and I'm a little bit hungry. I hit that Taco Bell. Sometimes I get them, and I just be in my car before I even get inside. Gum 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 gum.
I know. You can like inhale it. But it's like filling, but it's light, so you can just down it.
Yes.
So I had some Taco Bell. I went to Subway again. Go to Subway more often than I probably should, but got my meatball sub. I had to settle for Italian bread because my fiance was with me and she got the last Italian herbs and cheese, so I had to go the straight Italian.
Ah.
I was nice. I let her have it, and I only like partially regret being generous and letting her have the last one. But the
Oh
sub
wow.
turned out okay. Like it was missing that Italian herbs and cheese charm, but it was still not too terrible. And then I've had these I don't know if you're a big licorice person, but there's this kind called like Wiley Wallabies, which is this licorice that's like it's not like the long strips like the red vines or the Twizzlers. They're like a
Is
little
it like
smaller.
real thick?
Yeah, it's a thicker one. And it doesn't
Is
taste
it
like
like?
licorice at all.
Because I'm thinking, I'm just like, is it like a circle? Um, it looks like a circle, but it's like a long string kind, but it's like really thick.
Yeah, it's
I
thick
think.
and probably like 2 inches long,
Uh
thicker, like kind of like a star pattern on the edge. They're really, really good.
yeah.
Definitely recommend them. There's like 4 different flavors. There's like a green apple, a watermelon, an original, and a black. And like I wouldn't eat black licorice for
Uh,
anything. I think that's
no.
poison. But the red ones are so good.
Which black licorice is the true licorice, but I just don't like it.
Yeah, it is like I feel like it like poisons your tongue. Like you can't eat normal food for like a week after having it.
That's why it's so puzzling why people buy good and plenty, because that's black
Yeah,
licorice. I'm like, ugh.
they're just like it's like medicine where it like stains your tongue with its nasty flavor. It makes you
Exactly.
avoid it at all costs.
Ugh. I just, yeah, I just can't.
Yeah, Lord protect us from that.
Exactly. Well, is that all, Daniel?
Yeah, that's probably all I should admit to, for sure.
I think Thursday, it's a because that's my payday off. Um, I think I'm gonna try to hit Chicago and try to find a new place. I'm gonna hit my good friend up, Grayson, and be like, "Hey, I want to try a new place of food. Where should I go to?" And everything, and he'll probably give me advice and everything, and I'll be like, "You wanna come along and stuff?" Just take 20 minutes out of your day, come hang out with me and everything. But I'll find out. But yeah, everybody, that's gonna be it for Snack Tendo. Now, you know what time it is. Play with power! Daniel, where have you been playing with power?
So, I've been primarily playing Breath of the Wild, trying to churn through that so I can move on to Tears of the Kingdom. Um, and I've got through the first two um, Divine Beasts,
Mm-hmm.
and then moving on to the third one. So the ones I've done so far, just I've done the bird and the the water one. That is it,
Yes.
the elephant and the bird. So now
Yes.
I'm uh, taking on the camel. I believe it's a camel, and I just fought through the Yiga clan like base and killed their leader in what was very very strange. That like sneaking through their base is so hard. Like it's insane. Took me
I
like 2 days.
I know you gotta throw the banana and be like hoo 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 hoo.
Yeah, they do this like really peculiar dance, like little like shuffle step dance thing while they're running to the bananas.
Uh-huh.
And their boss is kind of this like overweight, like almost like in The Incredibles, if for those familiar with that, where like he tries putting on the super suit again and he's like too chubby for it.
Uh-huh.
The boss is
uh,
kind of like that. But I was able to get the helm. I did beat him. That was one of the easiest boss fights ever, by the way.
I think that's the best boss fight in Breath of the Wild.
Really?
Yes, fighting that frog.
The entertainment value is definitely there. I'll give you that. But it's definitely
It's
not hard.
it's not it's not hard. I think it's because it feels like a regular Zelda boss fight,
Hmm.
uh, or a 3D boss fight, I should say, from like the Ocarina or Wind Waker or something like that. That kind of boss fight, and it's so comedic when you defeat him.
Hmm. Because he's like, now I'm gonna do something that'll like really scare you, and he makes the like the spike ball that's so big that it just crushes him into the pit.
And you just look and you just be like, it's so I fought him and it's so funny and
Hmm.
everything. It I think when I first met them at a clan, I didn't expect them to be like, I know they're ninjas, I know they're challenging, but yet they're also like comic relief and
Hmm.
everything. I'm like, what ninja clan is going to fall for bananas? It's so weird, and everything.
And then, because I thought the boss was gonna be like incredibly challenging, because like just sneaking through the fort, if they capture you, they kill you, like one shot you. So I was like,
Hmm.
oh, like the boss is gonna like destroy me. And then like I beat the boss in like 1/16 of the time it took me just to walk through the hallway to get there.
Yeah,
So I
it
was loving that.
yeah, and then you just never see him again. Like that's it,
Yeah.
you know. And so you just mostly run into the minions in it
Mhm.
and everything.
The
So
travelers that are just like, oh, do you want to buy this thing? I'm gonna kill you.
right.
Like in the Hyrule Woods and things when you just like stumble on them. But their designs are so cool.
Yes.
I really love their masks, like their weird like disappearing into like little ticket things.
Uh,
Very cool design. So that's the bulk of what I've been playing. I have a couple friends that are this actually might interest the listeners. I have a couple friends that are making games for Game Boy on cartridge still.
oh, nice.
So like they're making old style Game Boy games that they're releasing on cartridge so you can buy the cartridge and put it in your old Game Boy and play it.
Uh,
I've played a couple of different ones of those this week and those were really cool. One of them was a platformer, kind of like Mario, but this particular game dev made his own little character named Wink, who's a little guy with an eyeball head, and you walk
oh,
around
wow.
and he has these like fully like flushed out maps. And that game's called Wink and the Broken Robot. And then the other one I played just real quick is called Meadow, which is kind of like Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing or like Harvest Moon, but for Game Boy. So like you're a farmer and like you run a farm and like you get to know the people around town and you sell your crops. It's very cool. Definitely check those out if you really like really retro games, like from when we were kids, or
Oh,
even if you're trying to
nice.
like detox from super modern games. I would definitely recommend checking those out. But Ed, what have you been playing?
So, uh, I have been playing Tears of the Kingdom.
No way, that indie game.
And the reason why I said that everybody is because I am still speechless about this game. The way I literally it's just been a week that I have started any story stuff. I literally was exploring. Um, I've been exploring and I've been finding new things. Um, I fought a okay. So Daniel, this is not a spoiler or anything, but there's a particular enemy that you're gonna run into and you're going to laugh. It's gonna be a bit terrifying, but you're going to laugh.
I actually have a question about that for when you're done. I
Okay.
have some questions I want to
So
ask you about it, but go ahead.
so it's I think it's a vast improvement over Breath of the Wild. As in design, the cities, the enemy. Well, the enemies are kind of weird because a lot of the challenges that for the side missions and stuff, the enemies are stronger. They're the black Bobblekins, and so they take a little bit harder to hit. But um, with your fuse ability, you can upgrade that weapon and like kind of do more damage. Uh, I do like the sky stuff, but I think there's so much on the ground that I'm so involved. I keep forgetting about checking out the sky. So when I do try to check out the sky, I'll be like, oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I'm like, this is part of the game, and there's secrets up in the sky that I haven't even touched yet, and everything. Um, I can say some parts feel a little Mega Man ish, which is not bad. Once again, this game is a big science experiment. Like, even just from people building uh vehicles and uh things they did to the cockroaches and everything. Hestu, you know Hestu, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No. He has a new song and dance, and I bawled out laughing for a good 2 minutes in my house. Cracking up. I was
Is
just
it
like,
good?
it is so good and so funny. And I gotta say this. I'm sorry, Daniel. This soundtrack needs to be available to buy because it's so good. And I think it's in the collector's edition. I gotta make sure. But and if it's not, Nintendo needs to put this on a CD. This music is amazing. I put on Twitter that I was just like, I'm just in this town, not doing anything because I just want to hear the soundtrack.
You're just sitting there
It
listening.
literally just listening to it. It's literally that good, and I love the little music parts that they drop here and there and everything. It's just so good. The shrines are easy to um learn and think and everything, and everything that all the abilities that you get, you kind of like use them. You still can figure out um or see if your own solution will work, and sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. You just gotta try different methods and everything. um it's just such a big improvement. I can say that I haven't did a lot of the underground where there's a kind of new era, not era, area underneath Hyrule and stuff. I haven't did a lot of that because I'm so focused on the mid ground, and soon I'll be in the sky and everything. It's just so great. It's so phenomenal. It deserves the tens. And it deserves the sales that we're gonna touch on a little bit in this episode. And it really showcases that the direction that the Zelda franchise is going in the right direction. And as long as they keep being innovative and everything, because I think the Breath of the Wild open world idea, I think it's going to be good for two or like probably for two more games. And then after that, I'm going to feel like, okay, it's time to do something different with the Zelda franchise. You know. But go ahead. Do you have any questions? You said you had questions.
Yeah, so one thing, and this might just be like the social media of it all. It seems that it's like very like meme heavy. Like I feel like I've seen 4,000 different little videos of people murdering Koroks in like a bunch of different ways and like connecting strange weapons together. Like it feels like it's like does it feel like a joke while you're playing? Is there like because like all I see about it is jokes. I don't hear like anything about like the story. Like all it is memes. So it just feels like weird. Does it feel jokey or like too jokey?
People are
Or is
doing
that
the joke stuff. People are doing the joke stuff for content.
gotcha?
Just it's to make people laugh and showcase what is allowed in the game that you could do being creative. No one's been talking about the story because nobody's been trying to spoil anything.
Gotcha.
You might see it. Right, you might see a picture of stuff, but no one is trying to spoil any shrines. No one is trying to spoil story beats in the game and stuff. You might find some, oh, they got this armor and stuff, or you got this secret and stuff, or they'd be like, I did this with my amiibo and everything. And people are telling their progress of where they're at, but they're not saying what they're actually doing and stuff. So yeah, you do see the videos of some of the crazy things and some of the failures that they're making and dying and stuff and just having a good time because they're enjoying it. They're not trying to break the game, but they're just showing what is allowed in this game. This is the freedom that I have. But like story points, no one is talking about any story points at all.
It's like a high mark for the gaming community then that
Mm-hmm.
like, I haven't seen like any story leak of anything. All I've seen
No.
is some very, very, very funny different things people have done. So high
Yeah.
mark for creativity.
Yeah, Nintendo, not Nintendo, Corey and Stephanie talked about it on last episode and everything, and stuff. And so it's been a level of respect for the players because they don't want to ruin the game for others and stuff. So you could say, I mean, people have said, "Oh, I'm down this castle," or I mean, or dungeon or stuff. Thing, they'd be like, "Okay, I got two of these and everything." They talk a little bit what they did in the shrine and stuff. But they're not giving no direction on where that shrine is at. No one is talking about the gloom stuff yet because everybody's been doing stuff right on the field of Hyrule. Like people haven't even touched the sky stuff. So the game is literally big and expensive than the first game. Um, that is really amazing to see how people are handling it because like some of the story beats, if people are getting into it, they're just like, I'm putting the controller down and I'm walking away before I cry, or or I just experienced something in this game I thought Nintendo would never do, or the
Hmm.
Zelda team would never do. So unless you are on that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 understanding about the game, you'll truly understand why people are not spoiling anything for Tears of the Kingdom. I mean,
Hmm.
it's that deep. And the story is getting very interesting from what I'm playing, but I'm not spoiling anything. We really cannot spoil anything probably until July for this game because people are still buying it.
Hmm.
You know,
So let me ask one other question and then we can move on just because I could ask like a billion. But from what you've played so far, one of the like really popular topics before it released was like what kind of games are going to feel the most mirrored, not necessarily just like stealing ideas or like
hmm
copying like characters. Like what sort of game, like previous games, do you feel like are represented here? Like not with any spoilers, just kind of like, do you get like the weird darkness of like Majora's Mask, or like the weird like newness of Skyward Sword, like the darker nature of Twilight Princess? Are there certain games that kind of come to mind while you're playing?
um, no, nothing. This
Nothing.
literally
Totally new.
nothing. This literally feels so brand new. Nobody's been comparing it to any other game. You know, no one's been showing like comparisons of this. This is the thing about it. If people are comparing it, they're comparing it to Breath of the Wild.
Hmm.
There,
Cool.
there's no Elder Ring comparison. There's no Grand Theft Auto comparison. Nothing. There's no the Horizon series. No comparison. Nothing is being compared to Tears of the Kingdom besides Breath of the Wild. You know.
Because I remember our mutual friend David Geisler of another Zelda podcast on their show. They were talking about how the game devs were mentioning that they were playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2
hmm
as like while they were in the middle of making Tears of the Kingdom. So he was kind of thinking that maybe that would have some like some subtle nods or some
So,
like similarities to that, but I wasn't
so,
sure because I hadn't really heard that after
so
release.
the Red Dead part is just, it's a big landscape to go anywhere.
Hmm.
There's nothing in Red Dead 2 that is resulting in Tears of the Kingdom because I played Red Dead 2 and it's an okay average game from Rockstar, but it's not touching anywhere near Tears of the Kingdom. You know,
Hmm.
it's one of those, where do I like in my free time, where's my freedom that I can go? And bam, this is where you could go. You want to go take down the clan members and then Red Dead. You could go look for them. Oh, they're at night, they're having a party. You can hear them, you can see them. Okay, go in and kill them. but that's kind of not the clearest of being in Tears of the Kingdom. But you could go and search different places that enemies are at. There's one thing in this game and it's been in the trailer, but it kind of needs more explanation. There's a group of heroes from different towns and stuff, and some Gorons and everything, and they go look for these little places where the bobcats are at, these where these communities are at and stuff, and they go in and fight, and you kind of help them solve a puzzle, but you also fight by their side and everything. So
Mhm.
it's more of an ambush kind of thing if you could do it right. And that's kind of a little bit from Red Dead, but that would be the only thing. And you really have to search it in Red Dead. Because it's just not it's just not something that you happen to fall in and stuff. It just, you know, it's just like that's the only thing that's been taken from kind of Red Dead that you can notice, but not really anything. Not even riding your horse, not the ultra hand or fuse ability, none of that. Because if you play Tears of the Kingdom and you play Red Dead, you will see not much comparison to that and everything.
Interesting. Cool. Thank you.
So
I'm so excited to play. Like you have no idea. Like Corey and Stephanie in their talk last episode convinced me to not like I'm so tempted to just want to get it and play it, but they pretty thoroughly convinced me that I should not rush into it, that I should take my time, finish up Breath of the Wild and then transition over. So, I'm going to be patient, but I'm really really annoyed.
yeah, and for right now, the only thing that's connecting the two is that so many people remember what Link is, and the things that Zelda has asked. But besides that, besides the people that you have met in the first game and they're finally grown up or evolved or whatever, that's it. Everything literally in the game is brand new, or something has had an effect on uh this village or this town or this area and everything and stuff. There is a lot that has changed in it. I will. One last thing is, I do like the companion. There is a companion system in this game, and you kind of see it in the trailer and everything. It really is. It really is a cool ability, and technical thing to have with you in some parts of the game. And also, okay, so minor spoiler, everybody. There is a certain temple that you have to uh go through and everything. And it gives you Super Mario Sunshine vibes.
That's awesome.
Mixed with Splatoon.
Interesting. That's a nice like bait like tease there, Ed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting. So, uh, yeah, that's my impression for Tears of the Kingdom. I kind of before the day of our recording yesterday, I did about, let's see, I got off at 4:30 yesterday. I didn't stop playing Tears of the Kingdom about till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. Nice.
So I put in a good about, I would say, about 8 hours in it, because I got home like at 5, and I loaded it up and I start playing. To let everybody know, also, I did get my Pro controller. I did get my. I didn't get the collector's edition of it, but I did get my case, the Pro controller. I got my Tears of the Kingdom amiibo, and I picked up Majora's Mask. I'm sending Corey's his Majora's Mask Monday, so hopefully he'll have it by time you guys see this episode and stuff. I packed in a special snack for him, Daniel. So hopefully he likes it. Um, so um, but yeah, I cannot wait for you to jump in it, Daniel, because I I want to talk to people about this game, and I can't say anything. Me and Lulu were talking for a bit, and I gotta reach out to her again and just see and catch up with her. But she she was playing part of it. I was playing a part of it, and we both got done, and because she was still doing stuff I had finished, and I was just like, I just finished this thing, and I need to talk to someone about it. That's how good Tears of the Kingdom is. Like, you can only spoil stuff if someone has experienced the same thing, and this happened with Breath of the Wild too. Everybody was muting other people to be like, if they started giving spoilers and stuff, everybody was just like, we don't want spoilers, shut up about this game. We know that if you if you do go here and you say something about it, that's cool. That's something that that's good for you. We're not there yet, but if we get there, we can expect something, but we may not know what really to expect in that game. The cooking is easier in this game. You literally can make easy meals also. You know, you don't get no Castlevania garbage looking 8-bit meal like Breath of the Wild. You really can find meals. Really make some good meals in here. So yeah. And there's a lot of arrows in this game, which is great. I love arrows and everything. Um, exactly. I will say the flip back and going to for rush attacks is easier in this game also, and being in the air and pulling your bow out to slow time and stuff, that's easier too. Returning projectiles with your shield and stuff, it still needs to be worked on in a sense, and only reason because there's not that many projectile parts that you will encounter. Yes, it's a lot of rain in this game. And yes, if you have metal in Thunder, you will get killed. So just keep that in mind and stuff. These are still there's still some expensive stuff. Some stuff has been moved around, but yeah, there are a lot of great things in this game. So if people are expecting it to get Game of the Year, yeah, keep that expectancy. I'm sorry, Spider-Man 2. I'm sorry, Resident Evil 4 remake. I'm sorry, Dead Space. I'm sorry, Hogwarts Legacy. Some people say that might be Game of the Year. If Starfield is a hit, I'm sorry. If Forza Motorsport is a hit, I'm sorry. Tears of the Kingdom is pretty much already guaranteed to be Game of the Year. No one is taking no one's taking it this year. The only thing that could rob Tears of the Kingdom is going to be another Nintendo game, and at this point, which is going to be insane. Some people are going to yell at me. Some people are not going to believe me. But Metro Prime Remaster is the second game that could rob Tears of the Kingdom from Game of the Year at this point.
Oh, that's interesting. I basically tend to agree with you, but it just feels like Tears of the Kingdom is on like another level than all the other games that you listed.
Yeah, Tears of the Tears of the Kingdom and Metro Prime Remaster are the only two games this year in the 90s. Nothing else has hit the 90s.
Hmm. It's interesting because it feels like with it's hard to tell if it's just that it's been 6 years and everyone's like so hungry for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if that will kind of like skew skew the results. Like everyone's been waiting 6 years for this game, so it's like, is it like just is it the game, or is it just that like that 6 years worth of hype for the game? So I wonder if that will skew like the voting on that
No,
at all. But
no.
what you're
They
saying, it's as good as it says it is and deserves to be. So I think
whatever
it's good.
Anuma, yeah, whatever Anuma and the Zelda team and Monolith Soft team, whatever they were doing in their 6 years, or I won't say 6 years, about five some years, I think, because whenever this got announced and everything, they were showcasing. They were trying out a lot of things, probably changing working technical stuff. And don't forget, Breath of the Wild came out on the Wii U. They only had about 6 months, I think, was reported, or a little bit more, to port to Breath of the Wild on Switch. Breath of the Wild was not built up on Switch. Tears of the Kingdom was. And Monolith Soft even though they brought out Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Monolith Soft really didn't learn the switch until Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Because you could see, how do you make this expansive world fit into Tears of the Kingdom? Like Nintendo, like the Numa team were trying everything. They were probably just breaking stuff. They probably know about some things, that the glitches and everything, but they were working on the technical aspect. Numa and them did a lot to make sure that once this game came out at the $70 price points, it was going to be worth the $70. It's going to be another Breath of the Wild for the next 4+ some years. You are still going to see clips and hear talks about that game, because people have not stopped showing or doing anything with Breath of the Wild until Tears of the King came out. And people now who want to get into Tears, like you, Daniel, are playing Breath of the Wild. And they're showing their progress. And there's so much support that people are playing it. And the stuff that you guys are finding, we don't even know about, and we finished the game. That's
Mhm.
how crazy it is.
Definitely. It's so cool that it has been those 6 years. And you're totally right that people are going to be posting the weird stuff they've made and
Mm-hmm.
like memeing this till the end of time, even after the next game is out and the game after that. You're still going to have at the point where it's like considered retro, and we're super old at that point, but people are still going to be posting like, look at this like weird thing that I made. It's a battering ram hot air balloon with like fans attached to the bottom. So it's just like an attacking vessel from the sky, and just keep going with it. Because there'll be the hardcore people that just love the building mechanics and are just building, that never play a game again because they're just trying different builds in the
Yes.
game.
So before we get into Femi news, there's a tweet that went out um by Gene Park. He says, Eiji Aonuma said when he announced in March 2022 a delay for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the game was pretty much complete. The last year was spent on polish, making sure the raw phases of the game just work. And then Nintendo everything says Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was basically complete when the March 2022 delay happened. Extra year spent on ensuring physics work and polishing.
That's really
So, uh, shout out to David Lasby, our editor in chief for our writing team. He said, "This is the Nintendo difference, particularly the Zelda team. It's why I was 100% confident Tears of the Kingdom would be silky smooth, set the standards for the industry. And yeah, there is some frame rate drops and stuff, but it's we know that stuff is on the power system. We know that. No one's caring about that. Nintendo never. The upset with Redfall and other companies is that you promise that games are going to hit 4K, 60 frames per second stuff. You announce that. So when you go back on your word when the game is close to release and stuff, that is upsetting people because they be like, what happened? Why are you going back on your word? Why are you doing this on a more powerful system. Nintendo, like I said, Nintendo doesn't speak about frame rates in 1080p. They don't care about the technical stuff. They want to make sure that it's polished and everything, but they want you to have fun, and they're focused on the gameplay and innovation that they're trying to offer. Where other companies on PlayStation and Xbox and even PC, they're trying to show you the power of what they could give you to deliver these worlds. And it's like, okay, you gave me the power, but I'm still having these technical hiccups and problems. And that is why people are mad at other companies when it comes to that, and games not feeling polished and buggy stuff and everything. And don't forget, people were just like, well, I'm not paying $70 for Tears of the Kingdom because it's going to be this and that. That discourse and that discussion has fell away because they understand with Tears of the Kingdom why it's $70.
Mhm.
You see the polish. You see the ideas that were placed into it. You see the fun people are having. And you see how big this world is. Like I said, no one has even talked about the gloom stuff in underground. That's a whole nother level of for players. That's the dark soul of, if you want to put like a game connected to it with the soul kinds, that is part of it. Because Daniel, if you get hit underneath in the underneath part where it's called gloom and stuff, it locks your heart. In other words, you can't heal.
Oh, really?
Yes, your
Wow.
heart's more on. I, I I think there is a solution. I have to test it. I won't say what it is, but your hearts will not unheal until you go back to the mainland, until you go up top ground. And the thing about it is, it only opens up your heart. You don't get healed until you eat something or you go rest.
Mhm. Interesting.
But if you're getting hit, if you run do some gloom and stuff, you lose your heart. You can't get it back.
Mhm.
And you gotta fight in darkness
I can
at
see how you feel
times.
about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that or not.
And sometimes you can get pounded on. It's a lot. So they expanded a lot of Tears of the Kingdom. It's just not this. It's just not the problem. That's the one problem that people are having with Tears of the Kingdom, is that it's hard to get into the story because there's so much to offer and the side quests and the freedom, and everybody is taking that instead of trying to figure out what the story was. Because everybody was at one point was just like, "What is the story? What's going on? Daddy Ganon, like how what is he up to?" All of that has gone away because there's so much in this game, so much freedom in this game, that people are going there to get stronger or to find something or to get money, whatever. And then they be like, oh, there is a quest. I forgot. There is a story. There is a point to it. So, well, Daniel, that was a lot. I
No, we
guess it's
didn't.
time. It's time for Family News. Yes. And everybody, I got the family news for you. So to let everybody know that the family news that we got for you guys were going to be for last week, but like I said, due to my work schedule, I wasn't able to be on the show. We weren't able to have a regular one. So you may have heard these stories. If not, then thanks for listening to family news. And we won't be too long with the family news. There's a game called Dorgogne, or Dordogne, Dordogne, and it gets a June release date. Finally, announced last year during September's Indie Direct, Dordogne finally received a release date of June 13th. In this watercolor adventure, you play as Mimi, who returns to her grandmother's home. As you are exploring the place, you remember your childhood memories and begin to search as a young version of Mimi. You'll uncover family secrets, take photos, and learn how the past is connected to the present. This game, Daniel, when I seen this game last year at the Indie World Direct, I have to have it. I was telling Corey and other people, I was just like, I need this game. It is beautiful. Have you been able to see the trailer or anything?
Yep, I looked this one up, and you're totally spot on. It looks amazing. That
Yeah, I
those
think
watercolor looks are so good.
I think that the creator is French and everything, and I was just like, how, like, why? And it's one of the games that I'm like, I do want the end. I do want it digitally, but I hope there's physical that comes out to it. I don't know how long the game's going to be, or if it's going to be good or anything. The artwork just grabs me, and so June 13th is a set date for me to buy that game.
Hmm. Doesn't seem like the kind of game I'd be into, but I definitely would. It's one of those ones that I'd watch someone else play just so I can
Uh,
see all the art, but I don't know if it'd be on my list of like must plays. But it does look phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a game for me. I love this art style, and it's a game. It looks like it's a great adventure game. So, you guys just keep checking out Nintendo Power Block. I'll probably be talking about it more of it. We're playing with Power when it releases. We're gonna move on to the next one. E.G. Anuma interested in Zelda movie after Mario's $1 billion success. With Tears of the Kingdom rocking the charts and the animated Super Mario Bros. Movie being the biggest video game movie of all time, it seems the success has caught Anuma's eyes. Polygon interviewed Anuma about Mario's success and if he could see an adaptation for Zelda. Though he is interested, he and Tears of the Kingdom director Hidemaru Fujibayashi believe that the fans might have to speak up about it. Now, why would we have to speak up about it? See, Newman, them, they're being naughty. We have been talking about this happening, and not just the Netflix rumor and all of that. We have been talking about we would love a Breath of the Wild, or not Breath of the Wild, a Legend of Zelda movie. Real life, animated. I I I wouldn't want it real life. I definitely would want it animated. And I don't know if the Super Mario Brothers animation, like DreamWorks, will work for it. Like if they were doing like a short for like Link's Awakening and stuff, using the new style that came on Switch, if they was doing that, yeah, and making it funny and doing the "excuse me, princess," like doing that would be fine. But I think something like if they was gonna go in, I could see it's like Smash Brothers kind of art style doing it. But I'm like, I need a Japanese anime studio to work close with Nintendo to make this happen if they decided to do it.
Yeah, I think I obviously would want it. I just kind of wonder like how you nail that tone because there are a lot of like cartoony elements to it, but I feel like a lot of the fan base is a little older. So like I don't know like how you'd balance it. Like maybe like a tone of like Avatar The Last Airbender where there's like
Uh-huh.
this like sense of fun, but like things can get pretty serious and heavier, but like that natural flow works well together. Cause like I don't think I'd want a live action one. I think that would be super
Yes.
screen and probably would be hard to pull off well. So
I I think it's because there's so much Japanese or Asian, I won't say Japanese, there's so much Asian influence in The Legend of Zelda that I feel like we here in America definitely will appreciate it more. we would love it more. We would get introduced to it. I think there would be a lot of recommendations, but people will go out and find. Uh, because I'm going to say this, everybody. I think for us as America, if we're going to look for medieval stuff, I feel like the first three Lord of the Ring movies, the trilogy of the Lord of the Ring movies, is a great example of medieval RPG action style kind of idea. Where in Japan, I think because of the way that stuff is animated and is treated and how they do lighting, the lighting and coloring and stuff like that. And knowing Nintendo, like they want to make sure that the staples are in there. The interpretation would definitely have to be like, how do we make this movie appealing but yet still feel like it came from Nintendo and stuff? Because I really can't say much with Nintendo and anime besides like that Star Fox Zero trailer, you know, um, and everything. Like you can't really make the Legend of Zelda really feel American. It really has to have a Japanese feel. Now, I will say Studio Ghibli is a good idea of how they want to go about it and everything. Um, but the
Mhm.
Legend of Zelda would definitely have to be taken with a lot of love, care, and appreciation and stuff. And for a 90-minute movie, yes, you really, the director has to like really know their stuff, and it's just like, who do you go with if you decide to do it?
Mhm. That, like, Spirited Away comparison is something I could see
Yes,
when pretty sure I know you're going that direction with it too, where, like, you fuse modern and medieval and fantasy elements together really, really well. So, like, it doesn't
yes,
feel out of place, and, like, the respect that Studio Gilby would give to that is something I could, like, really see. But, like,
yes.
really, like, lean it like, almost like Guillermo del Toro might even be like an interesting name to kind of put out there where he like fuses monsters and fantasy together really well if you were to go like a live actiony sort of route. I don't know, it's a good question, but like
Yeah,
obviously he's interested. It made $1 billion. Like of
right.
course.
And I and a big influence of Akuma, dang it, from Dragon Ball, Akira,
Toriyama.
which would you say?
Akira Toriyama, is that who you're talking about?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Um, because of Dragon Quest and his influence with that, that could give a good idea of it. Also,
there is a Dragon Quest movie that's super weird, but the animation style's like actually pretty good. As far as like a comp goes, they go
hmm
a very, very weird direction in that movie. But like before they do like this big plot twist thing, like it's a pretty solid movie and like the animation style works pretty well.
oh, what
But
I just did isn't. I agree 100% with you. I just thought of it level 5. I forgot that Nintendo and level 5 have a great relationship. Level 5 worked with Studio Ghibli to do Nino Kuni. And
oh, did they really?
Nintendo, yes, and Nintendo worked with level 5 so that for the Professor Layton games. I completely forgot that they do have a good relationship.
Wouldn't say no to that.
Right. Yeah, Studio Ghibli and Level 5 did Nino Kuni for PlayStation, the first game.
Hmm. And those
That's
games look great.
yes. So,
Could definitely see them
okay.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah, say pretty much
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, do that, Nintendo. Thanks for listening, by the way, as well.
Yes. Well, we're going to get into our last story, which is not a big one, but Hogwarts Legacy is delayed yet again for Nintendo Switch. With the release of Hogwarts Legacy on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, the Nintendo Switch version was planned to be the last released version of the game in July. Well, Switch owners will have to wait longer with the announcement that the game has been delayed to November. Avalanche Software is delaying the game so they could continue to further optimize the game. They tweeted out, "We know fans are looking forward to playing on Switch, therefore creating the best possible experience is our top priority. Thank you for your patience. Hogwarts Legacy is now planned for a November 14th release date. By that time, nobody's going to care."
I feel like it
I,
like
I'm,
yeah, like it's largely like disappeared from like public conversation already, and it's only been like a couple months on the
mhm.
other platforms. Like you don't like I haven't heard that title in like weeks. Any
Yeah,
reference to it at all just kind of released and like disappeared into the backlogs of people's games, I guess. Like we're talking about the robustness of like Tears of the Kingdom and people talking about it for years on end. This game's already like disappeared from the conversations like really quick. It's weird.
yeah. Hogwarts Legacy, Dying Light 2 for Switch, like all of that, it's just going to be forgotten and people just don't care. You know, Genshin Impact. I just cancel it for Switch. Don't cancel it and say that we didn't do nothing for the Nintendo Switch about this game. Don't give us that it was a hard choice, because we know, just like, no, it wasn't a hard choice. You guys weren't working on this game. You got more DLC and everything for and up for everybody else. For a Switch, they're not going to get anything. This was a announcement that y'all did it 3 or 4 years ago. Like, just give it up and everything. And I think right now, if Nintendo does a Nintendo Direct and just hot games drop this fall and something, or if Spider-Man comes out November 14th or whatever happens, on that day, Hogwarts Legacy is going to be forgotten. And I have a feeling that Avalanche Studios is going to end up canceling that game on Switch.
That'd be interesting. I know I've sort of felt strange about Hogwarts Legacy with all the author stuff and different things.
Mhm.
So like it wasn't really on my list of things to play. There's like plenty of other games to get your wizard school fix. But I was always like curious about it being released on Switch, but kind of feel like you're right.
Yeah, and Hogwarts Legacy was a big surprise to a lot of people. You know, uh, those who did purchase the game uh said that it was really great and stuff. They weren't thinking about the author, they were thinking about the devs. The devs made a fantastic, phenomenal game. People really did enjoy it. So, of course, a lot of the reviews and everything, as people talked about it and stuff, they gave it like high ratings and stuff. And I know it's kind of controversial, but people were just like, I want to make my choice and play the game. I know the author is questionable content. It will always be questionable content for the rest of her life. But th- the devs who took upon the work and kind of made it their own and uh made this game, they kind of feel like they feel like they really made a great project.
And it seems like they did.
And
It's
yeah,
just like strange, like really weird how it vanished from popular pop culture talk so quick because it does
yeah.
look fantastic. Like they
Well,
really killed it.
the thing about it is PlayStation VR PSVR 2 dropped. Other games came out. Resident Evil 4 took up the talk. Advance Wars, literally Metroid Prime Remaster. When even with the digital drop, when the physical dropped, people weren't talking about Hogwarts Legacy. Prime Remaster became the talk of the town, and people waited or double dipped to get that physical.
Hmm.
So We'll see what happens November 14th. I'm not saying that I don't care or anything, but I know it's going to I just have a feeling it's going to get canceled. So
I remember in
Eric,
earlier.
okay.
Oh, no, I was just
Hey.
gonna say I was remembering in earlier episodes when Corey was saying he wasn't even sure how it'd function on Switch. So
Mm-hmm.
like maybe it's just one of those things where it's like seems like a good idea, but there's just no way we can get it functionally working on Switch to the point that it's even worth releasing. So maybe it's like, yeah, well, we tried super hard, but it's just not
It's
possible. Sorry, guys.
it's not the fact that they tried. The idea for me is you focus on PlayStation, PC, and X and Series X. You focus on the big other systems, not because they're easy to work on. You really feel like you was going to make your money there. And so
Mhm.
instead of it's one of the things that a lot of companies, and I think I wrote about this, is that I don't understand why Nintendo Switch, which is the biggest selling console out this generation, which got a lot of games, which you seeing people double dip for them, why is it not being still treated like the other consoles and released along with the other consoles? If the Switch version gotta get delayed, the other two versions need to be delayed. Bring them all out equally and fairly and everything. Treat them as equally and fair. Because the thing about it is that if your game does come out in the Switch version, not saying it has to be the best, but it's functional and people are enjoying it and you're seeing a lot of sales there, it just shows that you really treated this game with respect. Why Capcom, yes, we didn't get Monster Hunter World. It wouldn't run on Switch. But Monster Hunter Rise, okay, yeah, it went to PC, it went to Xbox and PlayStation. That's fine. It's a time limited thing and stuff. But it really showcased that Capcom took the time to get the RE engine to run on Switch. And look how big Monster Hunter Rise has been. They seen the coin that came from that game because Capcom took that, and that's we as Switch players. That's all we care. Even during the Wii U era, we just cared about even if you don't bring this game out, or if you do bring this game out, don't treat it as a afterthought. Treat it as the other two systems. Learn the tech if you can, and just give it some tender loving care. We will buy the game if you treat it with respect and everything, and not like an afterthought. Oh, you didn't try anything. You delayed the game. You thought you could get it done in 6 months because you worked on a system that you never really tried to develop for and learn. And you expect us to buy something without letting us you expect us to buy something without really putting the time and effort in for us to make it look like we need to buy this game,
Mhm.
because your hopes and expectations were already somewhere else than Nintendo.
Yep.
Well, Daniel, I think it's time for Pack Watch. um
Yeah.
So these games already have released. Lego 2K Drive Awesome Rivals Edition. Welcome to Bricklandia, home of a massive open world Lego driving adventure. Race anywhere, play with anyone, build your dream rides, and defeat a cast of wild racing rivals for the Corvette Sky Trophy. The regular version did release on May 19th. Uh, on May 19th, Cyber Citizen Shockman. Everything was going great for Tsuke and Kayapiko until one fateful day when they woke up as a cybernetically enhanced Shockman. Thanks to the genius of the doc, they were given the opportunity to become cyborgs and heroes of justice tasked with taking down the evil group which had been terrorizing the town. The only catch is they have 18 days to get the job done and become humans again. Fulfill your destiny as hero of justice and restore peace to the town. There are some new games that is coming out also. Um, Convergence is coming out on May 23rd. This is a League of Legends story from Riot. Traverse the sprawling city of Zon as Echo, a young inventor with a device to rewind time. He and his friends must work together to keep their city safe, but as danger looms and secrets come to light, Echo realizes he can't trust anyone, not even himself. Developed by Double Stallion Games, Convergence: A League of Legends Story is a story-driven single-player 2D action platformer featuring dynamic combat and unique exploration of opportunities. Thanks to Echo's ability to travel through space and time, rewind your actions to learn from your mistakes and outsmart each new enemy. Will it be enough to save Zon's future? You'll have to play to find out. Um, and of course you got Puzzle Bobble coming out. And then Warhammer is coming out with a game for Switch. Warhammer 40,000 bulk gun. Um, Load up your bulk gun and plunge into battle head first. Experience a perfect blend of Warhammer 40,000 classic frenetic FPS gameplay and the stylish visuals of your favorite 90s virtual shooters. Play a battle-hardened space marine on their perilous mission across the galaxy as they battle against the Chaos Space Marines and Daemons of Chaos. In glorious boomer shooter style, unleash your devastating space marine arsenal as you blast through an explosion of sprites, pixels, and blood. Run, jump, and charge across huge levels to shoot, shred, and slice the worst heretics across the galaxy. So, did you pick up Lego 2K Drive yet, Daniel, or is it on your list?
So it's on my list. So what tends to happen with Lego games is that they come out at really high price points, and then like within like a month and a half, I feel like that price point is cut in half when they realize that people won't really pay that. So I figured I'd kind of try to call their bluff this time. Whereas I may have like pump faked on one before. Like I think I'm gonna sit on this one. So a lot of the reviews, and I'll breeze through this because Lego Talk probably isn't near the top of Pow Block fans lists, but a lot of the reviews were saying it's a good game, fun racing, but it's like pretty kid oriented, and the races are pretty easy. But it did praise the building your own kart mechanics as like it's like that part of the game is pretty fun, which is the part that would interest me. And one other thing that I didn't really understand from the descriptions that I read and things I've watched is that it's an open world. And the concept of an open world racing game is just like interesting. Like how does that exactly work? So
yeah, I didn't know there was a world. I thought it was just like a racing game too.
Yeah, so like I'm curious as to what the open world part of it is.
Right.
But yeah, I'll definitely be snagging it at some point. But I don't think I can put $60 into it. Or I think there's like an upper version that's like $100. Like
yeah,
I don't.
that's the awesome rival version.
Yeah, so I don't think it's probably worth $60 worth of fun, but it's probably worth maybe like $30 worth of fun for me personally. There might be some like more hardcore fans out there that definitely want to have $100 worth of fun, but I don't know if I'd get there. I don't think I'm that hardcore.
Exactly. Well, Daniel, it's time to get into Game Fact events. With Tears of the Kingdom set to have a huge number in physical sales in its first 3 days after its release, it hit 10 million sales, everybody. You might be surprised that Tears of the Kingdom may set 2 milestones. One being that Metacritic has rated both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom must plays, and that means that Tears of the Kingdom at 96 and Breath of the Wild beating it by 1 point at 97 are the first 2 games that have been sequels that has got a high rating in the 90s. I don't even think no other game has done that. Second, it is the 66th game that has sold over 1 million just from Nintendo alone over the past 6 years. And what I mean by that is in the past 6 years, Nintendo has had 66 games from them alone that has sold 1 million copies. Over 1 million copies. And Tears of the Kingdom just became the 66th game. I don't know the sale numbers for Advance Wars. Reboot Camp, Nintendo hasn't released anything for it, but we know with Tears of the Kingdom that it has hit past 1 million. So that made it the 66th game. So 66 games at 1 million a piece. 66 million games. First party on one console.
It's incredible.
Insane. So, Daniel, anything else? I think it's time we can wrap up. Do you have anything else? Anything you want to plug? Anything that's coming up?
If people want to check out my YouTube page, the Exploding Cupcakes Gaming Division, we actually have a pretty funny video on there where I'm doing 2 series at once. One's called 1 Hour Gaming, where I play one game with a guest or myself for 1 hour to decide not whether it's good or bad. That's can't be determined in an hour, but we decide in that hour if it'd be worth playing more. So that's one thing. And then I'm playing through a mod of Pokemon Emerald where all the Pokemon are subbed out for Digimon characters. So I guess if anyone is interested in those things, you can check that out. How about you? You have some reviews coming up. That's exciting.
Yes, I have some reviews. I have some boss rush banners that I am planning to write. To let everybody know that we are going to be having the Pride panel this year. And also, I'm working on it with Chris Davis, founder of Black Gamer League. We're going to try to have a Black Gamer League panel about fighting games. So we're hoping to have that in July. Like I said, I'm doing a lot trying to get things planned and stuff. But with that, everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Let us know what you think of Tears of the Kingdom or what else that you're playing. Let us know what you thought of the PlayStation Showcase. And, I want to hear from you guys. Are there games that you've seen that you would love to also see on Nintendo Switch? I would love to hear your thoughts. With that, everybody, join us on our Discord. Check out more of our reading and material at bossrush.net, and also check us on our YouTube at bossrush media. With that, everybody, have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Nintendo Pow Block. Bye, everybody. Woohoo! Bye. Nintendo Pow Block is a product of Boss Rush Media, LLC, and is recorded from our headquarters in Akron, Ohio. The show is hosted by me, Edward Varnell. My co-hosts are Corey Dirrig and Cordy Yikes. You can find Corey at I am Corey in HD on Twitter and Instagram, as well as hosting the Boss Rush Podcast and Tower Casuals, the Destiny Podcast. You can find Cordy at Cordy_Yikes on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. You can find me at That Richard Cole on Twitter and Instagram. Follow Nintendo Pow Block on all social media platforms at Pow Block Podcast. You can also follow Boss Rush Media and Boss Rush Network on all major social media platforms. Join the Boss Rush Network Discord and Facebook groups to interact with other friends and fans. Visit bossrush.net for more great content and patreon.com/bossrushmedia to learn how you can support this show. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.